to the Dalton SAP demo. And here on our Excel page, we have the customer services tab where they can input all the relevant information such as invoice and delivery account for pricing and as much information as possible about what the customer's ordered so we can identify the product. The product information page is where formulations populate all the information out of best mix. So we determine the full SAP header code. We populate what the best mix code is, the best mix description that we'll be printing on the label, the pack size of the product, internal usage references if the product's a pre-pack, flush, or a remix code. The product type relates to all of the different types of products that we manufacture in the plant. So it determines species, whether it's a mineral, concentrate, or premix, and then also down to specifics of the product where there potentially is a flush. So between cattle and dry cow, when you've got sheep, and then also if something is medicated, unmedicated, or contains coccidiostats, as you can see there. And then the product hierarchy is the full level code, which then determines the species all the way through to stage. We log the copper level, total added copper, to determine if the copper is over 16,666 milligrams per kilogram. The product is determined to be high trace element, and so it requires some additional flushes in the product. If this was over that level, it would populate that HTE needed to be in the description for the planning department. It produces a calculated description based on a structure. So you would get the full product description, the bag size, the packaging type, whether it's bag, big bag, or bulk, and then the formula code on the end. For example, this product the description is going to be over 40 characters. So we've just done some trimming on the end for this example. Some additional information that we log is the quote code. So this product has gone live because it was quoted on a dummy code. So we log that for if pricing have any queries on the history. We input the best mix RM cost. We add in the percent CFE. So for pellets, it's 100. Premix would be the inclusion rate. And for minerals, we have that blank. Product form is fairly simple: meal, pellet, crumble, example. Hand adds in the formula. So any ingredient that doesn't come from bulk is counted as a hand add, and this helps determine the master recipe. And then a second level to this is if the hand added ingredients total over 25% of the product, it's then determined to be a high level product, high manual effort product in the plant. So we tick either yes or no, just so if it was a yes, it would go into the higher category. Sales text info is a field that we in Dalton use to literally spell out what medications are used and the kiloage of those medications, because this field then gets printed on the sales paperwork, and it also aids in the prescriptions that go to the vets, as we would not be able to fit all of that information in the description. We also have additions in here. For example, if we have a trademark name that needs to go in, that would also go in here. And so we have the option then of putting this sales text information in the phantom description. We do this for those medicated pellets, but we don't need it for potential trademarks in the phantom name. Does it contain any technology? This is what populates material group 5, I think, where it's Neopigo, the Livell project, or if it's got equalized technology. So we have a concentrate line at Dalton where most of our products which contain a ingredient that doesn't bode well down the standard premix or minerals line, it can go down because it's a more manual line, so it can be looked after. So things that contain sticky oil, prilled ingredients, smelly ingredients, bulky ingredients, and if it's a bulk bag as well, they can all go down this specialist line. And then there's a box should we have any information. For example, this contains MetaSmart, but also another ingredient. So I've just populated this because the planners will be able to see this information. For when we do medication, does this product contain Orofac or Chloromed? A simple yes or no, because it affects if we can use our 1% pellet remix in there or not. And then when we use medications, they all have a varying shelf life. And this is how we capture that. So on here, you pick the item with the shortest shelf life. So if you're using sulfaprim or Chloromed, they would be one of the least. Okay, so that covers all product types that we manufacture at Dalton, all of those questions. There's two options at current. So if your code is brand new to SAP or if it is being reinstated. So if it is being blocked, the product obviously already exists and we're just taking blocks off and tweaking. For this product, it's a new code. So in the first section, this is the header setup. So this will be your full SKU code. The second option may not be needed every single time if the phantom already exists. But today we will also be setting up the phantom code. So we'll do these two first. All of those questions that we populated on the previous tab have populated all of these orange variable fields, and this covers everything in SAP. So if I press the button and it goes, okay, that's it finished. So you can see here it says setup complete. Please check alternative unit of measure table. So I get it to stop here because this table was extremely tricky to try and work out how to automate. So it's just a quick check. Is this the right bag size? If not, we just tweak these two fields. So we're going to save that. And then we'll go to the phantom setup. And it does exactly the same process. Whilst it's going through here, I had programmed in to clear cells I knew could potentially have old dead data in as well to keep that data tidy. And this one, I believe, closes itself. There we go. At this point, I would send our formula out of Best Mix into SAP. There we go. And now we can go to our header bomb setup. So I have a packaging assistant. So the first few fields look at this central code here to try and determine if this customer has their own packaging. This customer in particular does not. So it's just suggesting that we use a plain white bag as we would. I have a manual search, so I can search if we're doing particular brands, an alternative bag color, and then we have our mineral customer, and if they have different customer bags for different types of products, for example, or I can filter through and go through our actual packaging bombs. As this product contains some rather tricky ingredients, I know that this needs to be in our unbranded gusset bag, so a pellet size bag. So I'm going to click on this. The second option has additional requirements. So do we stack them as half tons? Do we need a heat treated pallet for export? Are there, extra particular customer requirements? Most of the time this is as none. Estimated hazard requirements. I checked the formula before and seen that it potentially could be hazardous. So I put that there. So it's given us two options. The first one is based on what the system thinks we need, and the second one is your overridden information. So I'm going to copy and choose this code, and it's populated my packaging line that's going to go in the BOM. So I press that I want to create a BOM1. And if I quickly get to SAP, you can see it populates, and then it also pastes in there in the special instructions. So if I show you that, it copies this packaging information and pastes it in here, because that then prints out in the plant to the right location for the people that go and collect the packaging ready for manufacture. Okay, if we were creating a medicated pellet, we would also use this field here, which says, does it require the remix bulk? If that says yes, you press your remix button and it will add it in. And then we create a sales BOM with the BOM5 to hide that remix from the customer. The customers need to see the sales BOM because our phantom description displays the medication description and kiloage for their records for the red tractor audits. So that's why we have BOM5. So that's the BOM done. Our system has calculated what the master recipe and the production version needs to be. So again, a simple button, and it adds the master recipe into the list. And then it also links it to the production version. And does the check. So it's all green and it's all saved. There we go. Okay, so our next part is EHS. So this is all pre-calculated information. I haven't had to input anything. Press EHS part 1 and it creates the instance in CGO2. It's putting in my material assignments and then adding our relationships. And also the material group 9, which is variable if it's a premix or a mineral for that form type. It's sending our BOM out of CG37. And then it's also going back in and deleting that header BOM that we don't need. And then it is running the rules.